The biggest lie in guitar education that trips us up the most when we're going through our guitar improvisational journey is that all of these things are completely different topics. They're not. They're just different bits of the same musical language, and I would love to show that to you to make your guitar soloing better immediately. If you don't know, my name is Ryan Gaughan. I've been helping guitar players for over 20 years really bridge the gap between their creative ideas, what they're able to play. If you would, please hit the subscribe and bell notification to get more videos on how to make your guitar playing better. So whether we're doing scales early on with the minor pentatonic, right, on in the modes, all of the positions, triads, arpeggios, sweep picking, jazz closures, melodic minor, altered, all of this stuff. It seems like it's just random bits of information that we're trying to jam onto our guitar, and that is actually not the case. It is a language that, just like this minor pentatonic, is the earlier stages of like introducing yourself in a language, and all the way up until these sort of more advanced theoretical concepts are more advanced speaking or having a conversation. They build on top of each other. They're not just random bits. It's the way that I really like to show people when we start understanding this is if I have my major scale, right, my A major scale, and if I want to do it here, right, in that position as well, I can take my my caged here and kind of play that in two ways. Here, my G and my E position of the key of A. And what that does is it shows me like where those chord tones are, okay? But I could see them in the scale too, right? There's my 1, my 3, my 5, right? And then my 1, my 3, my 5, my 1. I could see that there, right? Okay, that's pretty cool. And then I can also see it here, where my 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1 is here within this scale. Now, if I want to, I could take, say, the arpeggio and maybe add a major 7 in there. Beautiful. All right, now what I'm doing is seeing in real time, like the visual really helps, how the scale and the caged and the arpeggio are actually sort of outlining the same thing in different ways. We have the scale with all 7 notes, and then we have the visual position of how I would play the chord, that caged shape, those caged shapes, as well as the arpeggio if I want to add my major 7, or if I want to make it that flat 7 with Mixolydian. These are all derived from the same concept. Now, even from there, or if I'm sort of understanding that, and I do have my Mixolydian, right? I know where to target my notes, because I've already gone through the work with what we had done before. I could even, right, if I want to do a Lydian dominant now, by adding that sharp 4 in there, I'm moving the theory along, and I'm building a vocabulary, right? And I can visually see how these all fit together. That's a visual of how these musical concepts build on top of each other like a language. We sort of think of it this way. Like a lot of people are sort of saying like, I want to be a blues player or a bluegrass player or a jazz player or a rock player, right? But all of those are just dialects of the same language. So if we look at this chart here, don't make fun of me too much for it, but if I'm looking, we're going to start with the music, and then we're going to move into the language, how to make music speak. And then from that language, we can get into a scale. Here I just have the major scale, the chords, the arpeggios, the modes of the major scale, getting into the phrasing, how to make it sound good. And then from there, we get into our musical ideas and the style. And that is a much better way to think about it, rather than like, oh, I don't want to learn that. I just want to be a bluegrass player, right? I don't want to learn that. I just want to be a rock player. This is a much better way to think about it, as it's all the same language, just different dialects of that language. So if I have generally the same phrase, right? If I want to do a blues, cool, right? I can maybe make it a little bit more country, by pulling that flat 7 down to the 6, and if I have something like this, or right? I can get a little country feel. I can add like a little bluegrass maybe. Cool, right? Same sort of phrase, I'm just adding the dialect. I'm using the same grammar and just flaring it up a little bit. The way hello turns into hi, how are you, turns into how was your weekend, turns into a conversation when you're learning a language. Language compounds on each other, music should as well. If you think about that, we don't have to go through this sort of like educational replacement idea of like, I learned the pentatonic. Forget that. Now we learn modes. Forget that. Now I learned, modes of melodic minor. That's much more advanced. All right, now forget that. Now, I learned jazz enclosures, and I'm just playing over each chord, right, and not modally. Okay, now forget that. It's just like we're not replacing what we learned before. We are letting it accumulate. And if we can create music in the most basic way possible, right, with my minor pentatonic, then everything that I learn from that minor pentatonic onward is going to build my musical vocabulary. So when you're learning, think about Eric Johnson or Stevie Ray Vaughan or Joe Bonamassa, like Tim Hansen, whoever your favorite guitar players are, that they're not juggling, cage system, pentatonics, major pentatonic, positions of the pentatonic, modes, what's melodic minor. They're not juggling all of these concepts, like 20 and 30 different concepts. They're expressing one musical language, and everything that they're learning is going to help cultivate that language and cultivate that dialect. And that's why I don't teach scales, I don't teach caged, I don't teach arpeggios, I don't teach modes. I teach one musical language that all of those belong to. And that expressiveness, we want to be able to say something on the guitar. That's what we love about our favorite guitar players, and that is what I do, expressing our creativity through the guitar. So if this sort of hits you, you're stuck in that, like, I don't know where to go with my guitar solos. Let me add modes. Let me add this, and you're sort of getting stuck in that boring, repetitive guitar solo plateau that we all get into. I have a free training, 3 steps to full fretboard fluency. It gets you to think about things in a musical way rather than just patterns and running up and down scales, which is, sort of the problem and sort of just adding information, right? We want to think of this as a language. That free training is in the description and in the first comment. I appreciate you staying till the end of the video, and I will see you in the next one.